YouTube, there is no firearms in this video.
Welcome back to the Loki Airgunner YouTube channel. In this episode we will talk about the Gamo Smooth Action Trigger, which is commonly found on middle range Gamo air rifles. So out of the box with the screw all the way in, you get a little bit of slop, then you kind of hit a wall, but there is still a little bit of creep after that. Let's see that again to be able to compare. This trigger definitively feels a lot better than the two-stage trigger in my Varmint.
Right around 3 pounds.
And it also seems to be a fair bit lighter.
2 pounds and 12 ounces.
Let's take a last look at it with this overexposed footage due to bad lighting. There is not a lot of creep on this one, but let's see if we can fix that together.
Just under 2 pounds and 12 ounces again. Can get this thing to focus. We got bad lighting. Just under 3 pounds. We got 2 pounds and like 14 ounces. So that's what you get with this screw all the way in out of the box.
Now it is time to take the factory screw out with a Phillips screwdriver. Basically what we are doing today is swapping the screw for a longer one.
My calipers are dying and this is hard to focus, but for some reasons this one seems to be slightly shorter than 7mm, maybe like 6.5. Nah, maybe a bit more than that, but yeah, kind of 7mm, I guess. That's just quality control. I will try the 10mm screw first, and if I need to unscrew it too much, maybe I will try the 8mm like I did with the other rifle.
To make it clear, what we are using here is a 2.5mm screw. This one is 10mm long, but we will try the 8mm one later.
The screw is all the way in. It should not cut. Does not. That was a full turn. It does not cut. That was 2 turns like the Varmint.
Remember, it is not because it cocks that it is safe. Be careful with this.
Seems to work.
Make sure to do the bang test, but last time it did kind of went off while I was closing it, and I did the bang test before, so be really careful and don't do that if you don't know what you are doing. Basically, it doesn't seem to happen with my 10mm screws at 2 turns out, but it doesn't mean that your screws are the same. Now let's see together if it made any difference. It does seem to have a little bit more slop. I don't know.
Now there is a huge slack in the trigger. I'm not sure that I like that. We will test it, and I might try the 8mm screw all the way in and see what it does after. Another cocking test. Cocked nicely. Everything is okay. Seems fairly safe. So with a 10mm screw, 2 turns out, that's what you get. It is a pretty air trigger, unlike the Varmint, and it is, I'm not sure it is 100% safe like that. We will test it with a trigger gauge and I will show you what it looks like, but I'm not sure I will keep it like that. So there is no pressure at all. Like I could do that with my pinky, like pull, 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 and then you get to the wall and pull. That's pretty light. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the Crossman trigger, but I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I mean, it feels unsafe.
Now that you've heard what my finger had to say, let's see what the trigger gauge has to say.
About 1 pound and 12 ounces, maybe 13, 12 ounces, so a full pound lighter than it was before. Yep, no cocking problems, but maybe it is safer than I thought. I might just keep it like that. One pound and 12 ounces again, pretty consistent. Hopefully it is again after that. One pound 12 ounces again with 10mm screw, 2 turns out. Take note, I did bang on it, I had no issues, and I had no problem cocking it yet. This doesn't mean that it is 100% safe, so be careful with that. I'm just curious to see the difference with the 8mm screw. So this one is about 2mm shorter.
This 8mm screw seemed to be lacking adjustments on my Gamo Varmint, but let's see what it will do on the Smooth Action Trigger.
All the way in. Cocks, no issue. Maybe a bit less slop. I kind of like that. Let's see if there's a difference on the trigger scale.
Basically, it is a trade in between slop or creep, so just find your happy medium.
First reading, we got just under 2.5 pounds, so 2 pounds and 6 ounces. Second reading, we got over 2.5 pounds, around 2 pounds and 10 ounces. Third reading in the middle, so 2.5 pounds. That's about what you get with the 8mm screw. I will put the 10mm back in with Loctite and call it a day. Fully in. One turn. 2 turn out. No cocking issues. £1 pound and 10 ounces, maybe even less, 9 ounces. That was 1 pound. That's weird. I should not have touched it when it was super consistent. I gave it a little bit of screw. Let's see what it did. Got it back to 1 pound and 12 ounces. Hopefully it is consistent. Was not. So that was 1 pound and 4 ounces only. That's weird. That's pretty weird.
Let's just say that once you got it right, you better not touch it and wait for your Loctite to settle. It was not quite as consistent as it was before, so I decided to screw it back in and screw it back out.
2.5 maybe. Two pounds and 2 ounces. 1 pound 12 ounces like I want. 1 pound 9 ounces. Give it a little bit of screw out. 1 pound 14 ounces. 1 pound 10 ounces. 1.5 pounds. 1 pound 11 ounces. 1 pound 11 ounces. And 1 pound 11 ounces. definitively use Loctite and stop touching it once you got it right. And I don't really recommend doing that if you don't have this or a really good finger, I guess.
Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.